Yes, guys, I know, 5 minutes early again, but it's okay. That's because, number one, I like to start 5 minutes early so that the people who are coming in can actually get themselves situated and be ready for the video. Unfortunately, Monique wasn't able to make it today. She had some chores to do. So it's just me and the cat. Of course, he's in my way. Come on over here, Fame. This candle has been messed up. Yeah, that's, stupid. First of all, I just want to say with these tea candles, if you're going to mess up candles like that, you might as well put new wicks in them because, and you're not going to be able to melt the wax that easily, so. But anyway, I digress. So it's now 4:57 Eastern Time, and our camera is running. We're actually recording with the two cameras simultaneously here on January 2nd, 2016. On the PAL camera, we have a wider angle varifocal lens, and on the iPhone 4S, we have it set to record at 720p. That's the mode that the software that we stream seems to use. It doesn't seem to be adjustable. Perhaps the reason may be as simple as the fact is that the T-Mobile Binge On technically really doesn't let you upload any faster than 1 megabit per second, which I just checked the actual upload speed right now in the connection, and right now uploading to the tower is a little slow. I thought that's not necessarily uncommon. I am getting about 8 megabits per second up on LTE, so I don't think this is going to be a major showstopper whatsoever. So today, of course, as I said, we got all these different programs going on, and just checking to see if it looks like everything is working. And I have to be honest and say this tends to give me a lot of conniptions because I'm never really sure what it is doing. I can see me in the camera frame, but that's about it. So the first thing I want to do is just let you know that over this weekend we did not do much for New Year's. Like I said in the Happy New Year's message, I really don't make a big deal about New Year's. I know some people do, and some people like to make big dreams and plans and resolutions and lists like that. I'm not heavily into that. I got some questions from Monique. Monique, as I said, wasn't able to make it into the program today, but she did send me some questions, and I would like to try to answer at least a few of these questions. So let's see. These are actually questions. The first question is favorite childhood memories. And then she's got a blank spaces between 2, 3, and 4. So let's start with childhood memories. I guess I could fill up 1, 2, 3, and 4. When I grew up in the first few years of my life, I lived in a country setting called East Heartland. We lived in a place called Dalene Hollow. That's all we know it as. It was actually on North Hollow Road, but basically we knew it was Dalene Hollow. And we had my aunt, my Aunt Anne Marie, Uncle Johnny lived on one quarter. My uncle lived in the middle. My other uncle lived in the middle, right before us, and we were actually in the corner. So if you can mention the number 5 on the dice, my first Uncle Kenny and Aunt Swanhild lived in the middle where the 5th dot is. and Aunt Emery and Uncle Johnny lived where the first upper dot was, and my grandfather and grandmother from my father's side lived on the second upper dot. We lived on the fourth lower left dot, and I don't really know these people too well, but they originally, it was my Aunt Dina and my Uncle Oli. They lived on the other dot across from a small fish pond that my parents had. And what I remember most of all was the wonderful fact is that I could romp anywhere. Back then we did not have these concerns about rapists and murderers. Not to say they didn't exist, but where I was living for the first 7, 8 years of my life, they didn't really have an impact on our lives at all. And that was just a real beautiful thing to remember. I had that beautiful thing in my relatives, being able to spend the first few years with them. And we used to be kind of close, and I was kind of miss that today. We don't have that anymore because my relatives are all scattered all over the place. Time travel, where would you go? Well, time travel is an interesting thing because science believes that it may very be possible to do within the next, 40, 50 years. Where would I go? I've really loved the Victorian era, and I loved the fashions, and I loved, because in in the 1840s, I was a housewife in Montana, and I am familiar with, the rustic kind of living, and it doesn't bother me. I would like to go back to that. Maybe I would tell myself, maybe not to be around Abigail at the time. The angry farmer goes out there and shoots, or cattleman goes out and shoots my husband and shoots me. But, from what they call time paradox, I don't know how well that would work. I'll leave that one alone for theoretical physicists or Stephen Hawking to figure it out. But basically, that's what I would do. I'd go back to the 1840s and getting a chance to, with my knowledge now, I could probably bring back some ideas to the 1840s. It could make me very rich. Think about that guy with the baseball book from the future that goes back in time from Back to the Future Part 2. He ends up with this book of sports statistics, and he goes back into the 80s with this book. And now he's making a fortune because he has the future scores of baseball games. I suppose that would be kind of an interesting approach, but that would be tampering the timeline. I don't know how that would go, but still, it's a really interesting idea to think about, that you could go back in time and start over. Next question I'm going to answer is, what event is changed her life destiny? Whose life? I think you meant my life. My life, not yours. Okay. Changed my life. Destiny. We just discussed this on Lumi's channel, right? Was just joining on me in 2011. Exactly, and that's a great kind of reminder to check out my channel, and that will be uploaded in a little bit, and hopefully you will be able to get to know a little bit more about me than Michele, or both of us. Yeah. Alright, so, oddest job ever. Oddest job ever. My jobs to me haven't really been odd. Maybe I should ask this question. Most boring job ever? Um, and that be, for me, I guess you could say it's the oddest job too, because it's certainly not my way. I was working at the Torrington YMCA back when I was a sophomore in the summer program, and I was working for a blind individual, an older man named Vince Santos, and I was, they were preparing computer data into a computer database. And we had all these little membership cards. They were all handwritten. And one of the things that we had to do was to take the raw cards, and they'd give me stacks and stacks and stacks of the things, and I had to transcribe them one by one onto these data forms. And it was the most boring job ever, because all you did was sit there and write all day long. Of course, I also answered the phone for him too in his office, and forward calls. So I was kind of like his personal secretary. But it was just a basic, boring data entry, data processing. It was just a pit. I hated that job with a passion. Really, really boring, but repetitive, and it was also, it had a really hot summer then, and the building had no air conditioning. He had a window fan, which obviously was running like crazy, to cool the office down, because this is before the YMCA got renovated. Those are probably bedrooms now. But really, it was just unbelievably hot in there. And, you know, so that definitely was not my favorite job. I did not like it at all. Okay? Some of these, I'm going to let Monique answer some of these questions, and because you'll notice that she also has the way this is formatted. Oh wait, no, it's not her fault. It's just, well, she left blank spaces in it. Okay, so I think we'll get more questions into that as we go. That was some of the things that Monique had presented. Let's see, what else did she present here? Okay. Are these questions or statements? Okay. I need to ask her. Well, I can answer some of these. First one sounds like a common statement. Computers are very important in education. Second one is success in life means money. No, it does not. It's just like we said on my channel. Success does not mean money. Success is being truly happy. Money is like a pair of vice grip or a tool. It helps you become able to do that, but it's not making you happy. No, money does not make you happy at all. Friendship's most important relationship life? I'd say yes. Friendship, and of course having a very special person that you share your life with. Be it Dory or Lumi or both. They are very important in my life, and they have made my life so much richer. Doing a job you like is more important to earn. Is more important than to earn more money. Yep, that again goes back to the happiness topic, and it definitely is. Being a team worker is more important than to be a brilliantly creative person. Well, that depends. First of all, there are people who prefer working by themselves because they know, like those people who cannot necessarily explain their ideas to another person, but they know how what they themselves want to explain it. They want to achieve it. I guess it's something that's very common for a lot of artists. They're not always able to explain their ideas to another person. A sculptor, for example, may have a hard time explaining some things. It doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that they have a hard time explaining how it all works. Right. And so that's what makes a person good or bad. Well, hopefully good. So I would say it depends on the person. What job would you like to do and why? The one I'm doing. Because I like to share my knowledge with people. And I've been doing these videos for 5 years, and it's closest to what I wanted to do, which is I originally wanted to be a radio, involved with live radio broadcasting and live radio dramas and comedies. And what I'm doing now is giving you a chance to act as a commentator, kind of like Chris in the morning on Northern Exposure. I kind of do the same thing that I want to share with you. I want to bring out some ideas in your life. And that's kind of what we do now. And okay, where would you travel if you had $3,000? Well, I want to go to the UK. And forget just travel there. I'd like to live there. And be immersed in the British culture and being able to have a full experience of the UK. To me, the ability to learn new things is, I would love to possibly get a work visa and maybe work for an electrician as an apprentice in British wiring and household designs, because I like electronics and technology. Let's see, I'm just going to say this really quickly here. Some of the stuff is going to take a lot longer to go through than I've got time. No, I understand the way she wrote the question. I will answer the first question. It's more of a statement, I guess she wants me to explain it. Computers are very important in education. Well, yeah, to a point. I will say this. The computers in education, in some cases, is just a big, giant, white elephant that school systems have spent a lot of money on, especially. It makes the teacher feel like they have to be a computer technician more than being able to teach. But I think the computers certainly supplement the teaching curricula, but I don't see them as being the perfect tool to replace hands-on with interactive sessions with the teacher. That's just something that I think is just absolutely positively bogus, because I enjoyed spending more time in school watching my teachers talk about and show us things on the blackboard and personal live demos. Like say for example, like an history teacher explaining how and why the different governments of Western civilizations are built the way they are. Now, it's just a thing I really enjoy. Having an interactive video is nice, but when being able to actually ask questions, sure, we have the internet like Google and things like that, but the truth is, it's never truly will ever beat the personal one-on-one interaction, even in education. Even so, that's more important. Especially in the education of a trade. You can, there are things that you learn from one-on-one, depending on the field, that watching it on a live demonstration that was on YouTube may not be able to give you. Okay. On the other hand, there are some things that may be too difficult, too expensive, or too dangerous to do in person. There were some chemical experiments that my teachers would never dare do in school because in chemistry, because the reactions were highly, highly explosive, such as making acetylene gas. I got a chance to watch a video on that and how it's done and how a build of acetylene gas can cause an explosion You know, this is done in an educational institution that was set up to deal with such fire safety as exploding acetylene gas. And so these are wonderful things that we're. But the other thing is the same computers that are being taught for education, so many of them have been mixed up with social media, even in school systems, that I think are more of a distraction than a way to interact with the teacher. I spent a lot of good time. I spent a lot of good years in elementary school and high school, getting to know my teachers and getting to know me and my strengths, and getting to be able to do so many awesome things. You know, to me, that was the most beautiful thing, is the learning skills, right? And I'm sorry we don't receive any phone calls today. I haven't really been pushing the phones today. First of all, it's getting really hot in here. It's getting hot because I've had these studio lights on since Lumi's video, and this place is starting to feel like a sauna. So I'm going to end this a little sooner today. But tomorrow, hopefully, Monique will be able to come on camera, and we will be able to go through the rest of the questions, or maybe getting a chance to rethink of whatever to give for answers. I might be able to come back with a better answer for them. But right now, let's end with the weather forecast for the next few days here at the Weather Channel. Right now, it is 1 degree Celsius outside. It feels like minus 1 degree Celsius. Wind is north at 8 kilometers per hour. Humidity is 64%. The dew point is minus 5 degrees Celsius. Sunrise this morning was at 7:20 a.m. Sunrise tonight will be at 4:33 p.m. For the next few days, starting Monday night, January 2nd, it'll be down to 0 degrees Celsius. Tuesday, January 3rd, the high will be 3 and a low of 2 degrees. Not much difference between the high night and the low time, with 90% chance of rain. Wednesday, January 4th, a high of 7, a low of minus 4. 10% chance of precipitation. On Thursday, January 5th, it'll be mostly sunny again. A high of 0, a low of minus 6. 0% chance of precipitation. Because tomorrow is Wednesday, I gotta pay. Or Tuesday, I'm gonna be getting my hair retouched. In addition to taking care of getting the bills paid and things. As far as are we going to buy the Cancy eye drops, at this point I can say I don't think that's going to happen, because I have to get things that are not so glamorous. But you know, you never know. I could be surprised. I could surprise you, you know. But for the time being, I say probably not. But oh well, that's life. That's life. Alright, so for the time being, I want to thank you for watching this short video. Please don't forget, if you're not a subscriber or you don't know how to subscribe, just click on the little blue square that says NASQ. That stands for North American Snow Queen, and then will bring you right to my channel. You can subscribe and, of course, do that, and then you'll become abreast of all new videos that are coming in, and you won't have to worry about getting lost in all the high weeds. And that will be what we'll be doing. We'll be working on new videos as we go. Well, for today, as I said, it's getting really hot in here, and I don't really have a lot to say right now. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye-bye.